TV game show. I think they might have revived it recently.
Yep, they did.
Called Press Your Luck.
Yeah.
Remember, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies? Well, while television game shows have been the source of some great drama, one of the biggest pieces of drama surrounding television game shows was back in the 1980s when a guy by the name of Michael Larson became a contestant on Press Your Luck. And here's the thing. The basics of Press Your Luck was this. The lights would go around the wheel and stuff like that, and the symbols would change, and then you'd hit the button to stop it. And if it landed on some money, you got some money. If it landed on a prize, you got some prize. And then you could spin again or stop spinning. The problem is, if you ever hit the button and it landed on the whammy, not only was your turn over, you lost everything you had. This guy did over 40 spins and won what was at the time a record over $100,000 before he stopped. The catch was they accused him of cheating. Turns out he sat at home for months studying the patterns of the way the lights would move around the board and realized there were only 5 patterns. And if you could identify the pattern and know when to hit the button, you could win. And so they called him a cheater.
It's like the King of Kong. He just knew all the patterns of Donkey Kong.
He just knew the patterns and knew when to hit the button. He got over $100,000. But then the TV show called him a cheater. They didn't want to pay him. But then he came to point out, there's nothing in your rules saying that I can't study the board.
Yeah.
There's no rule that says I can't look at it and figure. The only thing he was guilty of is studying.
Yeah.
That's it. So they had to give him his money.
Never
Anyway,
been guilty of that.
Yep.
Personally.
Unless you're counting cards in Vegas. Now, they're making a movie about this. And you ask anybody who follows movie news, who's the hottest actor in the last couple of weeks in Hollywood? It's Walter Hauser. It's Paul Walter Hauser. He's been announced in everything. He's in the new Naked Gun. He's going to be Chris Farley in the Chris Farley biopic. He just signed on to be in Fantastic Four. And now, according to the folks over at Deadline, he and Walton Goggins have joined on for this Press Your Luck movie based on this guy. They wrote the following. Paul Walter Hauser from Blackbird and Richard Jewell, by the way, Emmy winner, Paul Walter Hauser, will lead the cast of Press Your Luck, a pick based on the true story of an unemployed ice cream truck driver who won big in a 1980s game show. Set in 1984, the film follows Ohio resident Michael Larson, who steps onto the set of game show Press Your Luck, harboring a secret, the key to endless amounts of money. But his winning streak gets threatened when the executives in the control room start to uncover his real motivations. You can see a first look at the image above, which, by the way, how perfect does Paul Walter Hauser look as that guy? He looks perfect as that guy.
Did you guys ever watch that Perfect Bid with Price is Right? That documentary that was on Hulu, I believe.
Oh yeah, where the guy just knew.
Was like he studied the same way as this guy did, and I feel they didn't do anything wrong. It's the game show's fault.
You're educating yourself. Yeah. It's fine.
It's the game show's fault.
And I think you can find that on YouTube, by the way. I think it's on YouTube.
If you put patterns in anything, any person can, figure it out. Like eventually, it's the same thing with video games. The older video games like Mario Brothers. There's only one way to do things, and they were doing things one way. So it probably smartened up a bunch of game shows.
Well, I mean, for Press Your Luck, once they had to hand over the $100,000+ check, the first thing they did was they went back and changed it from 5 patterns to 32 different patterns.
Yeah.
So nobody would be able to figure out fast enough which pattern was going on. So it caused them and others to make changes. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of a sucker for true stories about game shows. Mm-hmm. There's just something really interesting about this. And a guy, of course, the hottest guy in Hollywood right now, Paul Walter Hauser, with Walton Goggins. Sign me up. This sounds great. We want to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. My favorite spring cleaning takeaway is the post-clean clarity you get. Wow, how have I been living like this? It's kind of like when you find out that you've been paying a fortune for wireless when Mint Mobile has phone plans for just $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. My last mobile service provider was quite good, but ever since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've enjoyed even better coverage, better phone clarity, and I'm paying less than a third of what I paid to my old provider. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Campea. Cut your wireless bills to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions may apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Chris, you heard about this. Did you ever watch this Press Your Luck? And what do you think about this?
This is a little before my time because this happened in 1984, this particular story. And I was just a twinkle in my papa's eye. I was not in existence yet. This, I think, is a great story to work off of, though, because the actual real life person here, he only spent 6 weeks studying before he realized there was this pattern, because with 18 numbers, you could only have those 6 different kind of potential jumbles there, right?
And by the way, it wasn't on YouTube. He had to do it with VHS tapes to rewind and fast forward. That's commitment.
Exactly. I love stuff that's set in the 1980s too. I just always love a period piece with big hair. It always just makes me happy on just a aesthetic level. I think this is a killer cast. Anytime Walton Goggins is in something, I am going to watch it. He just classes the joint up, to borrow from R&B. I love him so much. I think he's so stellar. And the other person I'm really excited about being in this cast, honestly, is Johnny Knoxville. I don't know if y'all watched that reboot show on Hulu. It sadly got canceled, and I
never did see that.
I thought it was so delightful, and Johnny Knoxville really surprised me in that. He's also done some really great voice acting, and I'm excited to see more of him in these kinds of roles where he has the potential to be taken seriously. Because while Jackass is so fun, and I'm so glad it exists, he also has some real good acting chops, in my opinion. So I think this will be fun. And yeah, Paul looks amazing as this character. He's going to kill it.
Quick question around. Also, for you guys watching home, throw it in the live chat. If you're, let me just go around the room. All-time favorite game show, and I'm not talking about reality. Don't put reality, like Survivor is not a game show, okay? But all-time favorite game show. Ray, what do you got?
I did. Oh, obviously, it's Price is Right, but the I would say Pictionary. I think I liked when
Pictionary was good.
Yeah, I like the drawing stuff. That I can't really, I have to think about it more, but I think it was Pictionary, the one I watched.
Jonathan, what about you?
I mean, I was never huge because, like, I just felt like my great aunts and my grandma always watched game shows like Wheel of Fortune and stuff, so I was never into it. But I ended up later on in my teens loving Win Ben Stein's Money.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. With,
yeah. I think Jimmy Kimmel, like, hosted that too. I feel like.
No, Jimmy Kimmel, he didn't host it, but he was a part. Yes, he was a part of that show that he would go to.
Don't remember him being on that.
Oh, yeah, that
he was
one
like the
really
go-to guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I used to watch that like all the time.
I remember I actually we had Ben Stein. Now, this was back when I was still doing the movie blog, but one of my first celebrity interviews was doing Ben Stein, which is pretty funny. What about you, Chris? You got a favorite game show?
Oh, I mean, Price is Right, because you watch that when you're a kid and you're sick, right? That's like the best. You're like, yes, I got to watch Price is Right. A friend of mine actually just won big on Price is Right, too.
Ooh,
Shout out
congrats.
Nate. Yeah. He won a car and everything.
Wow.
But me and Jeopardy. I love Jeopardy.
Although I really
Jeopardy's
like
great.
way more dated than that, but because I watched reruns of it, but Hollywood Squares.
Oh yeah, that was
They're
great.
bringing
fun.
that back.
Oh, that's
Did you
great.
see they're bringing it back, Hollywood Squares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch one where they uncovered like pieces on a board, but then it's not only getting the matching pieces, but the board actually had like an equation of pictures, and they would have to get what it
You
said.
have to figure out what it was trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember seeing that. I can't
Match
remember what it
game
was.
or something like that. That was pretty good.
My favorite, though, even through the different host iterations, is Family Feud.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that
It
one's
was fun.
Especially with who's hosting it now?
Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey.
Steve, he is great at hosting that show. Like Ann and I, a few months ago, we fell down this rabbit hole of finding funniest moments ever on game shows. And it's like, oh my God, Steve Harvey was so good. Yes. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? We all live in, Paul Walter Hauser's world now. He's just going to be cast in everything. I'm sure he's going to show up in Game of Thrones at some point. What do you think? Did you used to watch this game show? What's your favorite game show? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.